What if I told you that the greatest powers on the planet have already created weapons so advanced they could wipe out humanity in less than 1 second? It may sound exaggerated, but it is not. We are talking about swarms of autonomous drones, invisible bombers carrying thermonuclear payloads, 6th-generation fighters you cannot see or stop, and hypersonic missiles moving so fast there is not even time to react. Today on TechZNX, you will discover the 7 next-generation weapons most destructive on the planet. Real machines developed in secret that not only can win a war, they can change the destiny of civilization with a single launch order. So get ready, because what you are about to see is not science fiction. It is the arsenal of the future, and it is already prepared to be used. Let's begin. Top 7. Perdix Drone Swarm. It is not a missile. It is not a fighter. It is something far more unsettling. Perdix is the name of the micro-drone swarm created by the Pentagon. Tiny machines the size of a phone which, when launched by the hundreds, turn into a living swarm, as if they were an army of metal insects thinking with one single brain. Picture this. From an F-18 Super Hornet, more than 100 micro-drones are deployed at once. In seconds, the sky fills with dots flying in formation, dodging obstacles, and changing course with no one giving them orders. They do not need a pilot or a control center. Each one shares information with the rest, and the entire swarm decides in real time how to attack, how to evade, and how to collapse enemy defenses. A single Perdix is not frightening, but together they are a nightmare. They can saturate radars, force anti-air systems to waste all their ammunition, guide precision bombings, or even crash directly into antennas, radars, and critical targets. And the worst part? If you shoot down 20, 50, or even 100, the swarm keeps moving forward as if nothing happened. Think about it. The most expensive fighters, the heaviest armored vehicles, or the most sophisticated defenses were never designed to fight against a swarm making decisions in milliseconds. Perdix does not face you head-on. It surrounds you, blinds you, and overwhelms you by pure saturation. And here is the true fear. These drones are cheap, expendable, and can be launched from almost any platform. While a single missile costs millions, a swarm can multiply into thousands and still remain lethal. It is the democratization of technological terror. Top 6. F-35 Lightning II. At number 6, we do not have a simple airplane. We have an invisible predator that redefines what it means to dominate the skies. The F-35 Lightning II, the most advanced 5th-generation fighter on the planet. At first glance, it looks like a futuristic combat jet, with sharp lines and a matte gray color designed to vanish from radar. But what really makes it a threat is not its shape, it is its brain. This fighter is packed with sensors able to monitor the entire battlefield, detect enemy aircraft hundreds of kilometers away, and share that information in real time with ships, troops, and other fighters. It is as if every F-35 were a living antenna turning the entire fleet into one single mind. Do you want raw power? This jet can fly at more than 1,900 kilometers per hour, carry tactical nuclear bombs, and next-generation air-to-air missiles. But its true power is not firing first. It is that the enemy never knows it is there. When an F-35 enters your airspace, it is already too late. It detected you long before you could even imagine it. The secret lies in data fusion. The pilot does not just see numbers on a screen, he sees a complete representation of the battlefield, as if he had X-ray vision, and that information can be automatically transmitted to missiles, drones, and ships. That makes the F-35 the very core of modern war. A fighter that not only fights, but coordinates and guides an entire army. The most unsettling part? We are no longer talking about prototypes. It is already in service in more than 15 countries, and every year new units roll out of Lockheed Martin factories, which means hundreds of these jets are already in the skies, ready for action. The F-35 is not just an airplane. It is an invisible shadow that sees everything, hears everything, and can decide an entire war before the first missile is fired. Top 5. Champ. It does not explode. It does not leave craters. What it does is much worse for a modern nation. Champ, counter-electronics, high-power microwave, a weapon designed to kill electronics. A single well-aimed pulse can blind radars, fry data centers, and turn command posts into mute skeletons. Imagine this. Overnight, military communications become meaningless echoes, missiles lose guidance, and power grids flicker like candles in the wind. That does not happen by accident. Champ is built precisely for that. It is the invisible lever that switches off the technological backbone of an adversary in seconds. How does it work? Instead of explosives, Champ fires a burst of extremely powerful microwaves that overload and burn sensitive electronic components. It does not kill people directly, but it destroys the ability to make collective decisions. Without sensors, without links, without data, armies become driverless pieces. The effect is both psychological and operational. You do not need to blow up runways or bridges. It is enough to disable the brain that controls them. It is a form of silent violence that leaves no smoke, but causes systemic damage that takes weeks or months to recover. And here is the most disturbing part. Champ does not need to be delivered by some huge platform. It can be launched from a stealth fighter, from a cruise missile, or even from systems no one would associate with an attack. One pulse, and the certainty of war evaporates. In strategic terms, Champ proves that today, mastering the spectrum electrifies the ability to destroy without firing a single bomb. Top 4. X-37B. At number 4, we are not talking about a fighter or a missile. We are talking about a machine that turns space into a secret battlefield. The X-37B, the most unsettling unmanned spaceplane on the planet. At first glance, it looks like a small shuttle, almost harmless. But its threat is not in what you see, it is in what nobody knows. The X-37B can launch atop an Atlas rocket, reach low orbit, remain there for more than 1,000 days, and return to Earth as if nothing happened, all without explaining what it did during those years. Orbital espionage, laser weapon testing, deployment of secret military satellites, no one outside the Pentagon knows. And that makes it terrifying. Because while a normal satellite has a clear purpose, the X-37B is an enigma patrolling above our heads. Invisible, unreachable, silent. Russia and China know it. They have publicly accused the United States of using it as a space warfare lab. And it is not paranoia. A vehicle able to stay in space for years without crew can, in theory, become the first orbital attack platform. Imagine kinetic projectiles dropped from above, falling with the force of a meteorite. Imagine beams of energy blinding enemy satellites in seconds. That is what rival powers fear. The most unsettling part? This ghost has already completed 6 secret missions, each one longer than the previous. Each time it returns with unexplained modifications. Each time suspicion grows heavier. And each time, the shadow of the X-37B looms darker over the sky. This plane does not need to roar or display weapons. Its power lies in mystery, because when a craft can live years above you without being detected, you know the future of war no longer belongs only to Earth. Top 3. Avangard. At number 3, there are no theories or lab tests. There is a real threat, operational and ready to launch at any moment. Its name is Avangard, the most feared hypersonic weapon in the Russian arsenal. It is not just another missile. It is a maneuverable re-entry vehicle mounted on an intercontinental rocket that, when it hits the atmosphere, breaks all the rules. Unlike classic ballistic missiles, Avangard does not follow a fixed arc. It glides, it turns, it dives, it climbs, it changes course at will. And it does all this while traveling at more than 27 times the speed of sound. Can you see it on radar? Maybe. Can you intercept it? Impossible. When defenses calculate its trajectory, Avangard has already vanished from that path. In practice, you cannot stop it. And if it carries a nuclear warhead, only one is enough to obliterate an entire city. Vladimir Putin himself presented it as a weapon no one else in the world possesses. Propaganda or not, one fact cannot be ignored. Avangard is already deployed in real silos, mounted on UR-100 rockets, and has been part of Russia's active deterrence doctrine since the year 2020. Each unit can carry a thermonuclear payload of up to 2 megatons. But it is not just the power that matters. It is the speed, the unpredictability, and the terror of knowing you can be hit in minutes, without warning, without defense, without even knowing from which angle it will come. For military analysts, Avangard represents the end of missile defense as we know it. No matter how many radars, shields, or interceptors you deploy, if Avangard is in the air, you can only pray not to be its target. Top 2. NGAD. At number 2, there is no mere airplane. There is an aerial annihilation system so advanced it breaks everything you thought you knew. NGAD, the secret United States program to create the first 6th-generation fighter. It is no longer about building a faster or stealthier jet. It is about dominating the sky without anyone ever knowing you are there. NGAD will not be just a fighter. It will be a multi-system aerial platform capable of coordinating attacks from the air, from space, and from cyberspace, while leading autonomous drone swarms that follow it like hunting dogs. Did the F-35 impress you? NGAD surpasses it in absolutely everything. It will be hypersonic, with speeds potentially beyond Mach 5. It will be radar invisible even in active attack mode. And most brutal of all, it will not need to come close to kill. It will use laser weapons, microwave beams, and extended-range missiles fired from outside the combat theater. But the true revolution is its networked brain. The pilot is not just an operator, but a commander. From the cockpit, he can control loyal drones, direct simultaneous attacks, and activate electronic jamming in real time against enemy radars. It is expected to be operational before the year 2030, and Lockheed Martin has already confirmed a real prototype secretly flew since 2020. Yes, it already exists. And if you wonder why you have never seen it, it is because it was designed so no one ever can. NGAD will not fight planes. It will hunt entire systems. Anti-air defenses, command networks, satellites, anything that sees it will be neutralized before realizing what hit it. This is not the future. This is the hidden present. And if this platform takes the second spot, it is because number 1 can literally erase the planet. Top 1. Trident II D5. Here there are no fireworks, no spectacle, only silence under the water, missiles waiting in the dark, and a single order that could split history in two. At number 1 stands the Trident II D5, launched from Ohio-class submarines, the coldest, most effective form of strategic deterrence in existence today. Each of those submarines patrols for months, hidden beneath the waves, carrying up to 20 Trident missiles in its belly, ready to fire. What makes the Trident D5 the supreme threat is not just quantity. It is the lethal mix of intercontinental range, surgical precision, and to carry multiple independent warheads. Each missile is over 13 meters long and can strike targets thousands of kilometers away, delivering warheads that erase entire cities. In its most powerful configuration, a single launch can release several warheads aimed at different objectives, a rain of destruction falling from the invisibility of the ocean. Think about it. A submarine on patrol is a mobile arsenal you cannot sink before it gets the order. Ground silos can be located and neutralized. A lurking submarine cannot. That stealth persistence explains why powers keep modernizing fleets and missiles. The Trident is no relic of the past. It is the technical guarantee of an instant, global response. And the consequences are not only immediate blast and ruin, they are radiation that lingers, collapsed health and food systems, destroyed power and logistics networks, an irreversible change in the human map. That is why, despite all the fanfare about weapons of the future, the combination of stealth, MRV capacity, and global reach places the Trident II D5 as the card that keeps the world on edge. From the abyssal calm of an Ohio submarine, the possibility of playing that card is the reason humanity still breathes cautiously. And there you have it, the 7 most devastating next-generation weapons on the planet. Systems so extreme that even the greatest powers know using them would be playing with the end of humanity. From swarms of drones thinking with one brain to submarine missiles able to erase entire cities in minutes, this arsenal proves the war of the future is already here, and the world walks on a razor-thin line. Now the question is for you. Do you think any of these weapons will ever be used in a real conflict? Which one did you find the most terrifying? Leave your answer in the comments. And if this video shocked you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because what is coming next on TechZNX will surprise you even more.